Messi now. Everyone on the edge of their seats. Messi going for goal!
Join the fun, the excitement, the build-up to the World Cup, Russia 2018. Join Sam and Bayo right here on this station as they review notable World Cup moments, participating teams, individual players, coaches, match officials, and many more. You don't want to miss Russia Roundup with your hosts Sam and Bayo right here on this station.
At last, Wayne Rooney has scored at the World Cup. It's an own goal. Brazil are behind off Marcelo. A nightmare start for the host nation.
In what is tagged as a group of death at this year's FIFA World Cup in Russia, of course, this group has European giants, Portugal. Of course, they are also the European champions currently. Of course, they also have former European champions and former world champions, Spain. It has Iran, and of course, it has our own Morocco in that particular group. Such a huge and exciting group to look forward to at this year's FIFA World Cup in Russia. Of course, they will kick off their game on June the 15th, 2018. It is your show, it is our show, Russia Roundup on Vineyard Television 15.8, right here in Houston, Texas, USA. My name is Bayo and Arashi. Welcome to the show. And as usual, I have my striking partner, Sam Mbanu. Of course, with a special cap today. Sam, what is it with you and Philadelphia Eagles? I know that they definitely are heading to the Super Bowl again this year, but of course, we are here to talk soccer. But what is it with this year's Super Bowl?
Yeah, we here to talk soccer. Welcome to the Russia Roundup here on Vineyard TV 15.8. My name is Sam. Like he introduced me. Yeah, that's my strike partner. You know, we hit the bull eyes with our eyes closed.
All the time.
Yeah, I have Philly Eagles heart here because I'm a lover of sports, and I'm happy that the Eagles are going to Super Bowl. One thing I'm happy about is that we have a Nigerian playing for the Eagles. He's a running back, Jay Ajayi from Boise State University, traded from Dolphins to Eagles. So, we're rooting for our own to see if he can bring home his first Super Bowl title. So I'm very, very ecstatic with the Eagles going to Super Bowl.
And in case you do not know, of course, Sam is a huge fan of American football. He's decided to call it football here. He's a huge, huge fan of that. I know him with that for a very, very long time now. But of course, we're here to talk about the beautiful game, game of soccer. And of course, it's going to be a wonderful time out with us again today on this show. Sam, Group B, we have European champions, Portugal and Spain. Of course, this is going to be a repeat of very, very, very fierce rivalry between these two great teams. What are your expectations? Naturally, everybody will say Spain and Portugal will be the big boys of this group, but we know this is football. Anything can happen. Who are your top picks, and what do you think about this group, Sam?
Spain and Portugal, Iran, Morocco in the same Group B.
Group of death.
Group of death. No, I don't call it group of death.
I mean, that's
because group of death.
That's the only group called the group of death so far.
We have one other powerhouse in soccer in that group, then we say group of death because they're going to vie for only 2 tickets. We have only 2 tickets available, and it's going to Spain and Portugal. So whoever come out top,
just like you said now, which personally I don't agree with though, but what we know, the natural winners of that group should be those 2 teams. But anything can happen. But what's your
Portugal ranked number 3 in the world, and Spain ranked number 6 in the world, and these 2 teams have played themselves 35 times, with Spain winning 15 times, losing 7. So you will see that they have a history among them. Definitely, see Ronaldo will be an X factor for the team. Even though he didn't play he played a major part in them becoming the European champion. But on the final game against France, he was on the sideline, dishing out instruction, motivating the players before a player came from the bench to give them the winning goal. So we are about to see, football at its best. Spain, former world champion, former European champion, the powerhouse of soccer now in Europe, and with the crop of players they have, I think Spain will, have that one over Portugal. Spain revolution started in 2006 when Aragonés was in charge.
After the failure of 2006 World Cup.
So now they now build up their golden generation that saw them winning the European Championship in 2008 and won the World Cup in 2010.
Yes.
So prior now, they were underachievers. Aragonés started the revolution.
And they just started like that in 2008. They went ahead and won the European Championship against all odds. I mean, not a lot of people gave them that chance.
chance.
At the 2008 UEFA Nations Cup, of course, as we used to call it in Africa.
Aragonés said that revolution. Then when he won, he passed on the baton to Vicente Bosque. And he continued where he stopped. And he won. Then it's a turn of Julen Lopetegui to see if he can still take Spain
and I remember prior to the beginning of the show, while you and I were discussing, you were like, "You're not sure about this."
I'm not sure about him because I'm not sure about him. He went to FC Porto. He never did anything good. FC Porto, they had their biggest whipping in soccer, and he was forced to resign before he became a Spain national team coach following the Bosque exit. So he has a huge shoe to fill, on the coaches that have done great job for the La Fura Roca.
That's going to bring about my next question, though, Sam. Vicente Del Bosque, he wasn't fired. I mean, we have to make
he wasn't fired.
He just feel that, okay, it's about time. He has won everything that needed to be won. European Championship, World Cup. I mean, what else do you need?
What else?
I mean, he has developed players and all of that. But now, this doesn't work for us in Africa. Right.
It doesn't.
That's one. Two, what do you think the nation see in this new Spanish coach that make them to feel, okay, with his failure, just as you said, and we all know at club level that this guy can do it at the national level? For me, I feel it is because they feel that the Spanish national team is filled with superstars, just like the same challenge we're having in Nigeria now, even though our players are not at that very, very top level, but we have very decent players. So I feel they feel, okay, this guy has array of stars to choose from, so he should make his selection. Of course, he should go. But what do you think this transition is going to do for Spanish football? I
think because he has a history with the younger national teams, the under 20 and the under 19, under 21, which is where the Spain national team, start to groom their crop of players. He was the coach of Real Madrid Team B in 2008 and 2009. Then he left there to become under 19 national team coach of Spain for 3 years, 2013. Then he led the under 20 for 3 years again because he was coaching the two youth sides simultaneously. Then when he left under 20, he became under 21 coach for 2 years. Then he left them to FC Porto. And remember, FC Porto have Iker Casillas as their player. So because he has that history with the junior national teams, so they feel that he can he can do that job, but he has a huge vacuum to fill.
That's going to be about my next question, Sam. Do you expect to see Iker Casillas at the goal for Spain again at the 2018 FIFA World Cup?
No.
Why do you say no, sir?
When you have David De Gea, why do you want Iker Casillas
at his age?
At that age, when you have a De Gea that have shown that he can play at that level.
Not only De Gea, I mean, the Real Madrid, the Real Madrid #1 as well. Is incredible.
But if he's that incredible, Real Madrid won't be wanting to sign David De Gea.
We know Real Madrid is a very, very, very big brand, and they always want to choose. But Sam, when we come back from probably the first break that we're going to take on the show very, very soon, we're going to really look at the two games in this group. Portugal, Spain on June the 15th. Of course, that will be the second game, but the first game of that group will be Morocco against Iran. But of course, we'll have to go for a short break right now. And of course, while on this break, we're going to bring you one of the top games between these two giants, Spain versus Portugal at the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Enjoy that highlight, and we'll be back on the show.
We'll bring Vuvuzela.
This is Russia Roundup with Sam and Bayo.
Welcome back to your show, and of course our show. It is Russia Roundup on this fantastic TV station right here in Houston, Texas, United States of America. Yes, this is the land. Of course, now we're looking at that Group B again. Group B, fantastic group. And of course, Sam already said it's not a group of death simply because there's no other powerhouse in that particular group. So that doesn't really make it a group of death. But every journalist and all the media departments are saying that particular group is the group of death.
I disagree.
Sam,
it's not a group of death.
On June 15th, at 18 hours Russian time, and of course 6 p.m. in Africa. I'm not sure what time it's going to be. Is right here in the U.S. It is going to be Morocco, which they call Maroc
against Iran.
Of course, it's going to be the battle of the Arabians.
Two underdogs.
We know, and of course, Battle of the Arabians. Remember, Iran were the third team to qualify.
I think second team.
They were the third behind the host and Brazil to qualify for the FIFA World Cup.
Yeah,
so that is a lot of motivation, and one of the reasons why I do not think any of the teams that come into that World Cup should underlook them. Remember, Sam, in the FIFA World Cup in 2014, it took a Lionel Messi's brilliance
to break Iran down
towards the end, almost in the 90th minute of that game. So this squad is not going to be an easy team. What do you make of that game, Morocco, Iran?
First of all, Iran is ranked 34th in the world, and Morocco is ranked 39th. So that means Iran is 5 places, above Morocco in the world ranking. And remember, Iran is being coached.
We know how that ranking works.
Yeah, I don't reckon with the ranking.
I don't always reckon with it.
In sports, you're bringing it into consideration.
Of course,
I remember Iran is being coached by Carlos Queiroz, former Ferguson number 2
assistant coach.
Yeah, at Old Trafford. So
for several years,
it wasn't just for 1-2 seasons.
He was just see him chilling
and also Morocco has been coached by Hervé Renard, who have won 2 Nations Cup with 2 different nations.
I think the greatest coach in Africa. Right now.
He took the Zambians to their first Nations Cup glory after so many years. He took the Ivorians to their Nations Cup glory again after many years. And now he took Morocco to the World Cup after 20 years. So it's not going to be an easy game for both teams, looking at the quality of their managers and what they are capable of doing, And
of course, they are players.
And they have players, So it's not going to be an easy one for the team. Let's look at who Iran played to qualify. They were in the same group with South Korea, Syria, Uzbekistan, China, and Qatar. And Iran played 10 games, and they amassed 22 points.
That is not
from 10 games.
That is not an easy feat.
Goal difference of +8. They won 6, they drew 4, and they lost none.
Amazing.
So Iran is not going to be a pushover for Morocco.
Amazing.
They had amazing qualifiers to get to where they are right now. So they're not going to be a pushover.
And there is this young striker, Sardar Azmoun of Iran. Sam, like it or not, this young man, just 22-year-old, he plays his football for Rubin Kazan in Russia, and of course, this guy scored 11 goals during the World Cup qualifiers for Iran during the qualifiers, and the same goal tally with Tim Cahill of Australia, with Christian Eriksen of Denmark, and of course with Romelu Lukaku of Belgium. That is the highest goals scored by those strikers to qualify for that particular World Cup. So definitely we have to look at this particular game very, very keenly. But Sam, who do you think will take the 3-point that day?
Between Iran and Morocco?
Morocco, yes.
With the 2 teams, and I've really done a little bit of research about these 2 teams, and they are not all that far apart in terms of quality of players, in terms of quality of manager, and looking at the 2 managers and what they can bring to the table, I think it's going to be a dogged fight, and I will give Morocco that chance of beating that little edge. Not because I'm an African, but
of course, if you're passionate about it, it's allowed, right?
I'm looking at the current squad of Morocco, and look at where their players are playing their trade. Mostly in Europe. Fenerbahce, Lille, Ajax, Feyenoord, Galatasaray, Southampton, Juventus, Mediha, Benatia. He's their captain. Capped 3 times and he had 2 goals.
Fantastic defender.
So why won't Morocco be able to pip Iran? They can.
And like you said earlier, with the motivation, of course, of their coach, Hervé Renard, the motivation for Hervé Renard is huge. Sam, remember, and I'm sure you know this story, that they promised him that, okay, we're going to give you $100,000 a month for being a coach of Morocco. But if you qualify Morocco for the World Cup, that salary, we're going to triple it, not double that.
Triple it.
Not double that.
300K.
So, Hervé Renard is smiling to the bank since the qualification.
With extra 200K.
I mean, that is huge motivation.
Come on,
and we all know what money does to us in this part of the world.
Yeah, he motivates us. He does.
Well, as we move on from that particular group, the next game, of course, that same day is the game of the day.
Yeah, Portugal and Spain.
Against Spain. And remember, we already said a few things about this particular game at the beginning of the show. But now it comes down to the real game, and that game will be in Sochi. Of course, the Iran game will be in St. Petersburg in Russia also.
St. Petersburg.
Another city. But of course, Sochi will host Spain against Portugal. Cristiano Ronaldo. In 2010, well, just a big punch by David Villa, of course, knocked off Portugal in that particular World Cup. The road towards the quarterfinal, but this time around, Portugal are the European champions.
They are the European champions.
They have Cristiano Ronaldo
who scored
at the
peak of his career right now, in the prime time.
Right now, we do not have a Spain that has like an outstanding. Of course, we know they are very, very good players, but we do not have a particular points man. They have Morata, they have Piqué, they have all those guys. But of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is the man of the day. What is your expectation? Will Portugal beat Spain on that day?
I know Spain will beat Portugal. Spain will beat Portugal on that day. Even though Ronaldo 15 goals in the qualifiers, in that group B that had Switzerland, Hungary, Faroe Islands, Latvia, Andorra, Portugal came at tops. From 10 games, they amassed 27 points in the qualifiers. They won 9, they drew 0, and they lost one only a game. An average of a total of 82 goals was scored in that group B, an average of 2.73 goals per game during their qualifiers. And Ronaldo came out as the top scorer, 15 goals. But he just a one man.
Incredible player.
Just a one man. We're talking about a national team of Spain that have Alvaro Morata, that have David Silva, that have Marco Asensio, that have Isco, that have Gerard Piqué. They have players who, even though they are not at that top, but they are right there.
Navarre, David and all of that.
They are there. And they can cause trouble for you when you switch off.
Any day.
So I'll give it to Spain. They have what it takes to beat Portugal. Portugal only have Ronaldo. Who else are you going to call? Andre Silva. Who else are you going to call?
They have João Moutinho.
Who else are you going to call?
They have the goalkeeper.
Only but a handful. We're talking about a team that have Isco.
This is the reality.
They have Isco. They have Marco Asensio. They have Alvaro Morata. They have David Silva. They have Fernando Torres. They have Diego Costa. They have Gerard Piqué. Come on, man.
In all honesty, Sam, on paper, Spain has
are meant to win.
They are way ahead. But Sam, even though I know we're still going to look at these players individually after our next break, but of course, we know the story of Portugal. I am sure not you or myself gave Portugal the chance in that particular tournament just this past year to win the European Championship. Did you ever give them a chance? In all honesty, did you ever give Portugal a chance? Not even the betting company will feel that an outsider like Portugal. And remember, Sam, what even makes it more interesting is that on that day, on that final, this player we're talking about, Cristiano Ronaldo, was injured in as early as 15 minutes of that game, and he was out.
They came up against a French national team that was wasteful in front of goals.
Okay, but who says the Spanish will not also be wasteful? Okay, we will come back and discuss this game.
We'll be right back.
There's definitely more to talk about this particular game. We'll go for another short break now. We have a special on Morocco. Morocco going back to the FIFA World Cup after 20 years of absence. They were last in that World Cup in France 1998. Watch this special we have on Morocco, and I and Sam will definitely be back on the show. We'll see you right after the break.
We'll be back.
Messi now. Everyone on the edge of their seats. Messi going for goal!
Join the fun, the excitement, the build-up to the World Cup, Russia 2018. Join Sam and Bayo right here on this station as they review notable World Cup moments, participating teams, individual players, coaches, match officials, and many more. You don't want to miss Russia RoundUp with your hosts Sam and Bayo right here on this station.
At last, Wayne Rooney has scored and the World Cup. It's an own goal. Brazil are behind off Marcelo. A nightmare start for the host nation.
Welcome back. It is still your show Russia Roundup with Bayo and Sam on Vineyard TV 15.8. Hope you enjoyed that special on Morocco. Of course, I have a very, very huge expectation for Morocco and all the other teams that will be playing at this year World Cup. It is such a huge party. I'm sure you always wonder, why are these boys always excited when they talk about this game? Because this particular championship only happens once every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
FIFA gave us that particular, okay, keep salivating for it. And there are so many things in between the qualification. In Africa, there's Africa Cup of Nations. In Europe, there's European Championship. In Asia, there's Asian Championship. And of course, the big party that brings billions of fans across the world together is the FIFA World Cup. Of course, before we continue the show, this program is open to sponsorship. For sponsorship details, contact the producer of this show on the number on the screen right now, or via the social media currently showing on the screen right now. You can contact me, Bayo and Sam, or contact Sam. Of course, contact this TV station, and of course, you'll be glad you did. We can showcase your products and services via this TV that you see behind me right now. Your product and services will be showing over there while we talk about it. You can actually sponsor a segment on the show. Sam, going back to that particular group B, because that is what our focus is on the show this week. I was asking you before we go for that break, nobody, and I repeat, nobody, not even me, even in the finals, we're like, okay, I mean, France struggled, they are the hosts, and they got to the finals, they should be able to beat everyone. They should be able to beat Portugal easily in that final. But it didn't happen. In fact, the guy that scored the goal in the finals came from the bench. I mean, but you are saying, no way, forget about it, it is going to be Spain. But I am going to be neutral on this one, and I think a shock might be in the offing for either of these two teams. Remember, Sam, 2014 FIFA World Cup, nobody gave, the 2010 FIFA World Cup, of course, nobody gave the Dutch that particular opportunity in South Africa.
No, I disagree with you on that. I disagree. The Dutch national team...
Did you give them a chance?
Yes, I did.
I did not.
The Dutch national team had... I mean,
what did they have?
That was their golden generation. They had Wesley Sneijder,
Ian Robben, Van Persie.
What are you talking about? But they had great players.
But this is World Cup. Remember 2008, the European champions were Spain. Remember what happened to them at the 2010 World Cup, Sam? You remember what happened to them? They were knocked out in the first round by this Dutch team we're talking about. And this Dutch team went all the way.
They went all the way to the final, and they met Spain.
And they met Spain in the final.
In the finals.
Of course, we're going to actually show that particular highlight.
And they met Spain in the final. That Dutch team had what it takes to win that World Cup. I'm
just saying this so that you can probably be flexible a little bit regarding the chance of Portugal against Spain. And even in this tournament, I feel Portugal might go all the way again.
They will not go all the way. Even though when they met in 2012 European semi-final, when it ended on goalless draw in 90 minutes, and they used a penalty. Fabregas scored the winning penalty for the Spaniard. Spain have always found a way to get around, their Iberian neighbors and get a result. If you look at their head-to-head, Spain, they played 34 times since 1921, and in that time, Spain have won 15 matches, lost 7, and with 12 draws. Portugal played in 6 European Cup, the first qualified in 1984. So Portugal have been underachievers in the world and Europe until they won. Until their golden generations came with Luis Figo, Etel and Co. Until they won in the 2016 European Championship. Yes. Congrats to them.
And you remember, sir, I was just asking you that, is it already 2 years?
Yeah, it's already 2 years.
That Portugal won that championship? I mean, it went by so far. I was actually saying Euro 2017.
No, it's 2016.
It's really a fun thing.
And where I think the Portuguese might have a low edge over the Spaniards is if you come to their coaching crew. If Fernando Santos, can bring his weight of experience, which he have had over years, coaching clubs in Greece and stuff like that, he can really bring that to the fore and give the Portuguese what they needed, they can get a better part of Spain. If their coach, Julian Lopetegui, couldn't bring his own experience to the table, because there'll be a time it comes to the technical,
know-how
of the two coaches.
It's going to be, because as we all know, the rule of the game is it takes just one L. And at the World Cup, what matters is really the 3 points. Either is 1-0, 3-0, or 5-0.
Just one goal.
Just get the 3 points.
Get 3 points.
And of course, get going in that game. I will ask you one final question before we move away from this particular two teams, and of course talk about other parts of this particular group, looking at the individual players from also Iran and Morocco and Spain, and even the entire 4 teams. Sam, do you think Spain will win the FIFA World Cup in 2018?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
Because they will choke a little bit. They are against, they will choke. If they come up against Germany, they will choke against Germany. You know, if they come, even though Italy don't qualify, you know, Italy should go and sort out what they have.
I was actually going to ask you that when you said, because you said no affirmatively, but I was going to tell you, remember, this same Spanish team knocked out the mighty Italians. They qualify as the top of the group.
I know.
I feel they have a chance. I feel
they have a chance. Okay. Let me retrace myself a little bit. Let me not say no emphatically.
You better do something.
You know, because I know viewers will slay me when the result goes the other way around. But I'm not scared of saying what I say.
Of course.
I'm not scared of tweeting what I tweet.
You are never scared.
I'm not scared of going on Facebook and saying what I want to say.
You need to check out Sam on
unapologetic soccer fan. You know, when I believe what I believe in. Spain have a good team. If the players can pool, you know, their strength together, they will be a great force to reckon with. But the attitude of Diego Costa might cost them a game. If he brings that same attitude that we saw him, that made him kick out from Chelsea, if he brings national team, even though we haven't seen a national team, if the coach can manage him well and bring out the best in him, Spain can. Yes, in my top 5, they are number 4 to win the World Cup. But they are not my number 1. You know, because the South American nations have always found a way to win the World Cup on European soil. And that's why I'm going for a Brazilian win. I'm not going for Argentina win. I'm not. I'm going for a Brazilian win because they are more of a complete team than the Argentines.
I'm very sure when we get to that particular, those particular group, we'll talk more and we'll definitely explore that particular group in detail. Sam, you know, I'm happy you already mentioned Diego Costa. What do you think will be the effect of these 3 top strikers for Spain? They have Diego Costa, they have Alvaro Morata, and they have Fernando Llorente. Fernando Llorente, I think now is ahead of Torres, because Torres is actually I was going to ask you, among these 4 strikers, Fernando Llorente and Fernando Torres, Alvaro Morata, Diego Costa, who do you think will be the top 3 strikers they will bring, knowing that Diego Costa can be
erratic,
bittersweet.
Yeah, you got erratic. Yeah,
bittersweet for the team. Who do you think should be the top 3 pick for the Spanish coach?
Don't forget that the strength of the Spanish national team lies in the midfield. You know,
and I don't think they have much problem in that.
They don't have much problem issue. They have Isco, they have Marco Asensio, they have Iniesta still playing.
They have Asensio, of course, and we're talking about the attacking forward right now.
You know,
we have Iniesta, and we have the never old. What is this man's name right now? Barcelona defensive midfielder.
Busquets. Sergio Busquets.
He never just grow old. I mean, I've been watching this guy since God knows.
He's still a young player. He ain't old. He's not that old.
You know, this is. I was going to talk
Busquets
about.
He's not 30.
Now, why do we think these players are old? Because these players start maybe when they were 18, 19, or 20, and they keep playing. And they never go out.
Cheating
in Europe.
In Europe, because the moment you are born, the government have your birth certificate and you're given a social security number. So you cannot come up with a fake age that you were born when you were 40, then you say you were 18.
I think we're about to go on another bit, but I need you to answer my question real quick.
Okay, Costa.
Between the 4 strikers,
Costa,
who you think should
Alvaro Morata, Torres, and Llorente. I think you can pair Costa and Morata. You know, I reckon Costa to be a more clinical box-to-box. I call him the fox in the box. Costa is dangerous when he's in your 18-yard box. You know, he is that player that connect that finishing touch and the ball is inside the net. Morata is good when he's good, but he blew hot and cold. We've seen him that he hasn't been able to replicate that form he once started when he came to Chelsea. Now he had gone like goal drought. So if they pay Costa and Morata, Diego Costa will bring out that good in Morata.
Definitely, we cannot talk about this particular topic until we will definitely continue on this when we come back from this.
Because there are two Chelsea players. He's a Chelsea fan.
We need to go for another short break now. And during this break, we're going to show you the FIFA qualifying round, of course, for the month of March, showing how Iran became the third nation to qualify for the FIFA World Cup 2018, and of course other countries that also qualified for that World Cup. When we come back, we're going to reach home stretch on the show, and of course come sponsor the show, but we'll be back. It's still your show, our show, Russia Roundup with Bayo Arashi and Sam Bono. We'll be back.
This is Russia Roundup with Sam and Bayo.
Welcome back. It's still Russia Roundup here on Vineyard TV 15.8 here in Houston, Texas. You can be part of this show. How? Just come and be a sponsor of this show. You can be a past sponsor, title sponsor, or you can place your product on the show. Just contact the producer on the number showing on the screen as regards how to be part and parcel of this wonderful show on Vineyard TV. We're talking about everything you need to know about Group B in the FIFA 2018 World Cup holding in Russia. And I still have my strike partner here, Bayo Arashi.
He calls me Bayo, so forgive him.
Bayo, just
forgive him.
I mean,
All right, Sam. Now, we were talking about as we reach home stretch on the show, because I mean, we didn't know we have actually gone that far. I was asking you, you already said Costa can, we all know what Costa can do. While he was at Chelsea, as stubborn as he is, let me use that word, we know
very
he has
very stubborn player.
big influence on any team he plays for. He is such a beast in front of goal. You said definitely he should be a pick. You said Alvaro Morata can blow hot and cold, and of course I can definitely testify to that. He has not really established himself as a top striker yet for Chelsea, but I forgive him because looking at this player antecedent, I always say it, and it's not as if I'm defending him. He has not really in his career be the number one pick for any club. He's always been like a second option, but at Chelsea he's having that opportunity, and even though he's not really taking it as much, but he started really well. Apart from him and Morata, who will be your third pick between Fernando Llorente and Fernando Torres?
I will pick Torres ahead of Llorente. Ask me when I will tell you.
Of course, why?
You know, if you look at Torres have come up and scored important goals for Spain. In the past. We saw him in the Euro 2008.
Well, he's not longer that player anymore.
He's no longer, but he can still bring that wealth of experience.
Llorente plays for Tottenham Hotspur right now.
Llorente came all the way from Spain to Valencia to Swansea, and then to Spurs. You know, so his career has been on a little bit down before Spurs now give me a little bit, bigger platform for him to compete. So Torres has been there from Atletico Madrid to Liverpool to Chelsea to AC Milan to Atletico Madrid back again. So he has been around the corridor of that top echelon of European soccer. And he will bring that wealth of experience he has amassed over years to the national team of Spain. He has scored important goals for them, for club and country.
True. I agree with you. How about the midfield? Isco, Asensio, both of them with Real Madrid. Iniesta, and of course, we did not remember to mention the Manchester City unbelievable midfielder, David Silva, and of course, so many other huge players that we have not really mentioned. Of course, Thiago Alcantara is there. Bayern Munich. Yeah. Of course, you mentioned earlier Sergio Busquets for Spain. I think this squad have a very big chance of doing something at the FIFA World Cup. Who are your top picks for their midfield? Of course, for the Spanish midfield. And remember, we are mentioning this because we are looking, does this team really have what it takes to win this year's FIFA World Cup again for the second time in their career?
I mean, Marco Asensio is just 22 years old. Meaning he still has age on his side.
Yeah, he still has 2 World Cups to go.
He still have more than 2 World Cups to go.
Of course, maybe 2 in his prime. 26.
So even if he didn't make that instant impact in this year World Cup, watch out for Marco Asensio in Qatar 2022. And looking at what he has been doing for the Real Madrid, team, Asensio is a player who can score from any part of the field.
What that guy does with his left foot,
you know,
I mean, it's sometimes I see some goals, I'm like, how did that happen?
we saw him score screamers from
he always scores screamers.
We've seen him
all his goals are always.
So I won't be surprised if he get the nod ahead to start for the La Roca. So he's a great player at 22. Tell me which Nigerian player at 22 is playing at that level
Alex
that
Iwobi.
Mark Asensio is playing.
Alex Iwobi. He plays for Arsenal.
Beautiful.
We have one. We
have one. Yeah.
We definitely have Iwobi.
You just shut me up right now. But Asensio have really come from the under 16 to under 19 to under 21 and to the national team, meaning that Spain built their national team from their youth level, and you see the progression.
Sam, with this thing you mentioned, I'm sure maybe next week during the show we're going to talk more about my experience. I recently attended a conference, a convention in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is the United Soccer Coaches Convention. It happens just annually. And one of the things I learned from that particular convention is player development.
Yes.
And I think we as Africans first,
we don't have it.
And as Nigerians first,
we don't.
This is a culture that we don't have, and a culture that we need to definitely start something in regards to. But of course, that might be just all the best we can bring you today on this show. Sam, as we head home this week on the show, and as we look forward to that World Cup, hopefully Sam will be at that World Cup giving us some shots from Russia. Of course, you can make that dream come true by simply sponsoring this show. Definitely, you will definitely be glad you did. I say this all the time. What is going to be your parting shot on the show today, Sam?
My parting shot is this. Spain-Portugal is a game that every soccer-loving fan will be looking forward to. And even though I've sat down on this chair and told that Spain will beat Portugal, but it's going to be a game that will go down to the wires. Morocco, Iran, I want my African brothers to win, at least. Morocco was the first African country to win a game in the World Cup, and they are back after 20 years. So why can't we give them a chance to get to the quarterfinal if they can? So just play sports, live sports, dream sports, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.
My name is Bayo and Arashi, and of course, on behalf of the producers of this show and of course the entire production crew at Vineyard Television here in Houston, Texas, I want to say thank you for watching, and of course, we'll be back next week, God willing, on the show. Till I see you again next week, God willing. Bye-bye now.
I said I'm okay, I've been better, not sure if it's paradise. And if it's the small things that matter, then maybe it's where it lies. But oh, we're looking for keys to this world, left my high rise, looked back and said, oh, no one still believe that there's more to the sunrise. But sometimes I let go, I lose track of the days, I get caught in my high life, no, can't quit till it plays, I call back cause I'm meant to, I lost count of the days, I get caught in the high life, still caught in the high life. Sometimes when I let go, I lose track of the days, I get caught in the high life, no, can't quit till it plays, I call back cause I'm meant to, I lose track of the days, I get caught in the high life, still caught in the high life. Will I be your number one? When it's love I'm coming from, never sure what's to come. Oh, though I'll be okay and get better, I'm not sure I'm satisfied. And there's still some parts of the truth that I hid, but you recognized. But oh, we're looking for keys to this world, left my high rise, looked back and said, oh, no one still believes